Good morning. It is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025, little after 8 a.m. Now I'm going to need some more water in my machine because it's running low. So I'm using filtered water, which is what's recommended by Nespresso. And let me slide it on here now. There we go. Get this out of the way. Let me put it back in the fridge because I still have all kinds of junk all over my counters. I haven't been able to clear it away yet. So I'm using one of my own design cups this morning. And, my own design shirt. And I've got a new kind of milk that I've never tried. This is Chobani Zero Sugar Unsweetened Oat Milk. So I thought, let me give this a try because, you know, all of these different milks have a different flavor and consistency. So I'm going to pour some in here, cut it about up to here. I'm going to give it a taste. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's a nice flavor. Now, I tell you what, let me pop this in the microwave. And while, oh, hey, Judy, good morning. And good morning to anyone else who's joining me. I'm going to pop this in the microwave to heat it up a little bit. And then I'll tell you what we're going to make this morning and where it comes from. Let's see, I'm going to do 35 seconds. Hopefully that's enough, at least to take the chill off. Okay, so remember yesterday we talked about how coffee is grown in what's referred to as the coffee zone between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Cancer is 23.5 degrees north of the equator. Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south of the equator. So I'm going to show you Africa here. Okay, so here's Africa, all right? And the equator is right here. Okay, here's the equator. And one of the countries it goes through is Uganda, which is bordered by countries you've probably heard of, like Kenya and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And here's Lake Victoria, which you've probably heard of. Okay, so here now, here's Uganda, okay? Here's the equator, all right? Now, in Uganda, we've got coffee grown up here and down here and over here. And the Nile River goes through Uganda, and they grow coffee in the West Nile region, okay? Now, let me get that milk out of the microwave, and I'll tell you what kind of coffee we're going to make that is grown. It was grown and in Uganda and other African countries. Arabica and Robusta beans, and some of the Robusta beans came from Uganda. It's Corto, all right? Now, I've made Corto fairly recently, but I haven't tried it with this Chobani oat milk, which, by the way, it's 50 calories per cup. So usually the almond milk I use is 30 calories per cup, and the Planet oat milk is 40. And now with the Chobani, we're going up to 50. So Judy says, oh, did I move to a different state or city? Yes, I moved to Warner Robins, Georgia. And yes, I need to downsize. I'm in just a one-bedroom apartment. And she says, do each of the coffees really taste so different? Yes, they do. that's one of the things that's so amazing to me about Nespresso. I mean, I used to, let's see, this is a lungo today. I used to make fun of my daughter and call her a coffee snob because she was one of these people who was always buying different kinds of coffees and different techniques of making it and grinding her own beans. And she really, actually, rather than a coffee snob, I wouldn't call her a coffee connoisseur, but I'd call her maybe a coffee aficionado. Is that the right word? Alexa, what does the word aficionado mean?
An aficionado is a person who is very knowledgeable and passionate about a particular subject.
Very knowledgeable and passionate about a certain subject. And that's my daughter. Alexa, stop. So, yes. My daughter heard about Nespresso, and she went ahead and tried it, and she said, you've got to try this, really. You don't have to buy bags of beans or bags of ground coffee or grind anything or anything like that. It comes in little capsules, and there's all different varieties. And I'm telling you, Judy, I am not any sort of an expert. My palate is, you know, probably, you know how every coffee we talk about, oh, it has certain kind of notes, you know, like, let's see if this says anything on it, because this is a blend that the barista's made up, and it does not have flavors in it, okay? It's just ground up coffee beans. But, okay, you know how there are different kinds of apples that have different flavors, or different kinds of pears, you know, just as an example. Well, there's different kinds of coffee, and it's like a fruit, you know, and the coffee, depending on what variety it is, where it's grown, how it's grown, and how it is processed. Like, do they, you know, the coffee, it's called a coffee cherry, like the coffee fruit. The bean has flesh around it and a skin, just like a piece of fruit, you know, like a plum or something like that. And let me taste this first. Oh, that's pretty good. I like it. Which, you know, the point, Judy, is if you like it, that's what matters. But it is interesting to me that, for example, some coffees, they take off all the fruit and the skin and the parchment stuff around the bean, and they dry it, you know? Or sometimes they dry it, you know, all together, or they leave it wet or for a while, and all kinds of different ways of handling it and different ways of roasting it, okay? All these different things affect what the coffee tastes like. Some coffees are very mellow, some are very light, you know, very light coffee flavors. Some are very rich and intense. One of the things I like about Nespresso, and I don't find this with Keurig, because Judy's asking what do I, you know, think about the two compared. I find that Nespresso really makes a very rich coffee, even when it's the milder, lighter, less intense coffees. They still have a richness to them. Now, there are a couple of exceptions I've come across that were recently put out during the holiday season, but, you know, this happens sometimes. They were artificially flavored coffees. For the most part, I have not cared for those. I love the raspberry, though, but that uses natural flavors, and it's amazing. But anyhow, okay, so, and Judy is saying, what are you, oh, okay, Keurig versus Nespresso. So I gave you my opinion about that. And, oh, Jennifer Tina, hey, thanks for joining us. So she says, have you run across a very low acidic coffee? I get nauseous. Well, Nespresso gives ratings for the acidity of a coffee. And if you go to Nespresso.com on the internet, you will find with each coffee, it has a rating for how much, acidity it has. I have found with American coffees that my impression of them has always been that they're pretty acidic. But with Nespresso, I haven't found that. They just are very smooth, and if they have a strong flavor, it's not accompanied with a lot of acid. Okay, another taste here. This is just so good. Oh, and you know what? I'm not faking it. Nobody's paying me to do this. I don't sell Nespresso. I don't own stock in the company. I'm just sharing with you something that I found that I really enjoy, and you might too. Judy says, what rating would I look for? Well, here's the thing. One last comment, because I don't want to keep everybody. Let me put this back in the fridge, because we all have things to do, people to see, places to go, right? But these are great questions, because a lot of people have these questions, and I'm really happy to answer them to the best of my ability, which is, anyhow. So there are coffee, you know what, it's not so much of a rating. You have to read the description of the coffee. And this is what I have always recommended to people, and the description's on the Nespresso website. I've said, listen to some reviews. If you have a friend that has an espresso machine, ask them to make you some and, find out what it is. Find people that do reviews that you like the coffees that they like. And I know there are a lot of people who listen to me because our tastes are similar. So, they'll frequently try the coffees that I like, and very often they like them too. But also, you can do a lot with coffee. I put a whole bunch of milk in, oh, you're welcome, Judy. I put a whole bunch of milk in this coffee, okay? Because, yesterday I had black coffee. Didn't have any milk or cream in the house. Today, I've got my creamer cow all prepared with creamers. But I had to drink it black. And you know what? It was delicious. I mean, I don't think I would drink American coffee, like in a restaurant, black. But this was really good. So, you can put milk with coffee, different kinds of syrups or sweeteners or, honey, agave, sugar, all kinds of spices. A lot of my videos show using herbs and spices with coffee. It's like coffee can be, you can appreciate it alone by itself, or it can be like a canvas for you to take your palette of all these other things I've mentioned and add them in different combinations and make something different every day. This is so good. So I was just going to end by saying this is what they call barista creation. So it's something that the Nespresso baristas, they wanted to have Nespresso try this particular blend of beans and stuff. And every box, okay, they show you size and recommendation. And one of the recommendations for Corto is a cappuccino. So in a little bit of a way, that's what I made here with the coffee and a bunch of milk. Now, I did find my hand blender, and soon I'm going to froth up some milk one of these days, but haven't got around to it yet. Okay, so this, Nespresso says this Corto is a punchy shot of robust coffee with just a little touch of sweetness, okay? And it says it has intense notes of roasted coffee and peppery spice. Silky texture, lingering aftertaste. They give you a little recipe for how to make it. But you know what? Experiment. That's what I do. And honestly, I rarely make the same thing twice. It's exciting to me to try all different kinds of things. And since I know that coffee is only grown in certain places around the world, I like to have some idea of where that is. That's why I've got my atlas and why I've got Alexa to answer questions for me. And yeah, it's interesting, and I find that I've forgotten a lot of my 4th grade geography. Oh my goodness. So I'm relearning geography here too. A lot of new countries out there from when I was a kid. Anyhow, have a wonderful day, everybody. And Judy, thank you for all of your questions, because it helps me to even further appreciate Nespresso, which, by the way, makes 2 different types of capsules, but we'll talk about that another time. If you look on the website, you'll see the different ones for the Vertuo and for the original line, which has the small capsules. Anyhow, I'm going to get going now. Have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.